So welcome to the Yoga Essence Institute. No tattoos, no six-pack, no bullshit talk. Just pretty common person for just very authentic, universal and mindful yoga. So we can come to a nice comfortable seat. Maybe you use a block if you need to prop up your hips. Vajrasana is a good pose, as always mentioned, for knees, ankles, to make the legs supple. But if it's a little bit too hard, maybe you can use your block, maybe a blanket, which you need towards the end for the relaxation. Won't be too long, it's only 45 minutes, but still you might need it. Maybe a little bit cold in houses in the morning, and you want to find a nice comfortable seat just to start to connect with your breath, finding that nice tall seat. Hips are relaxed ideally, shoulders are relaxed, and you can keep your palms open to the sky. So I don't know if you've seen yesterday, we've had a beautiful moon outside. It's not quite full completely. It's going to be full tomorrow morning, 5:12 a.m. But for now, it was really beautiful last night. There was a big halo around it, like really huge, amazing. So that might be another pretty strong moon, who knows. Why I'm mentioning that is because following the moon, which I do, different cycles of the moon, it's quite important to stay connected to the earth, actually, simply. Some people maybe think that, whatever, the moon, you know, it's just for esoteric, woofy people who think about this, but actually you really get connected to just the cycles of nature, which we're quite disconnected with these days. And it's very good to stay connected with that. So you connect with nature, you get a bit more grounded. And also in regards to the moon, so full moon, new moon, some very important stages of the moon cycle. You have quite strong emotional things that come up, maybe emotional times, because it's very powerful. This is where the moon has some of the biggest effects on us. And with this, what's important is to try to come from a place of equanimity. So it's good to have emotions, or anyway we have, but it's not maybe so good to react too strongly to it. So this is what we do on our yoga practices, is to be aware of things, and as we often mention in meditation especially, is to just observe. So not reacting too strongly, or maybe just simply observing if you are reacting strongly, and you don't need to worry too much about it, do too much about it. What you just want to do is just really observe, come from that place of equanimity, or if you can sort of, you know, step out of yourself and observe. So how you react to these emotions, that's one thing. Ideally, why are these emotions coming up? Trying to understand a bit more what's going on. So again, full moon, new moon and full moon, because of the high energy, it might be a little bit easier. We have more maybe emotions, things that happen, and because it's stronger, it might be a little bit easier to actually feel it. And then that's what you want to do. You want to really observe, and why is this coming? So I think that's quite an important thing. So now you might be thinking, why all this esoteric talk for yoga for back pain? Well, the relation with yoga for back pain, or at least the back pain, because this is yoga for back pain, is that a lot of what happens in the back, as I always mention, is due, at least for chronic back pain. Someone coming in, yes, thank you. If you can turn your microphone off, please. What's important is that everything, or at least for chronic back pain is coming from the nervous system, or most of it. Very important. So emotions, thoughts, all the things that go in our mind, it's all up there, and we have connection with the body and mind, but also just like communication, this is a two-way thing, so it also goes the other way. So communication from body and mind, and because we are also disconnected from the cycles of the moon, the earth, our connection, the disconnect actually, you know, takes us into more disconnect. So we're not so connected to this sort of talk which happens. So from body, mind, and mind, body, the communication path is the nervous system. So, you know, when you touch something, feel the pressure, or you hurt, or you have some pain, this is the nerves that send some signals to the brain to say, okay, what's happening? It's hot, it's cold. So we also have the same thing, but we're not so aware of it, is that our brain is sending some signals. So especially, say, that you might understand when you do some movement, you know, to reach out to your cup of coffee. You've got some signals that go, and we've got a lot more than we think. And sometimes what happens is that the emotions might connect you to some, well, it brings up memory, and by definition memory is something of the past, so that might be connecting you to some past trauma. There's many different levels. I'm not going to get too much into this, but many different levels of trauma, maybe childhood trauma or something that hasn't been maybe quite sorted in your body, and you might have heard that. Back issues is something that maybe, you know, you've just sort of buried and not dealt with properly. You might not be aware of it. You might think that everything is fine, but something that has annoyed you is not sorted out, so you left it behind. So that's where the back issues often comes from. So something to deal with the nervous system. So don't worry too much about it. Again, this is practice. When we come on our sacred space and you start to train with these things, being aware of your emotions, that comes on the mat, and then slowly, one day, if you're not doing that yet, you will be taking that off the mat and start to be aware a bit more of your emotions, your reactions, what's happening in your everyday life, which connects you a little bit more to these you know, communications between the brain and the body through the nervous system, and be a bit more aware of the nervous system. So we're gonna get started with Kapalbhati today in regards to that. So this is a very important breath. So it helps at the physical level, it helps to start warming up into the abdominals as we work with the abdomen, waking up the digestive system, waking up a bit of the fire, a little bit of heat. At the energetical level, this helps with the energy pathway, which is kind of a bit linked with the nervous system. There's also communication here, so all these pathways carry the energy in the body to keep us in harmony and healthy. So it's very good for that. And then at a higher level, this also helps with the third eye nervous system, because it helps to clear with using the respiratory system. It helps to clear the nasal passages, which also helps, because it's just here, it actually helps with what we call the third eye, that important energy point which brings clarity. So when your energy flows better in the body and you work on, or start working on your third eye, you start progressively to get more clarity. So this helps with, you know, analyzing all these emotions and whatnot, what happens in the body with the nervous system. So very important. And as usual, you do what you can, no straining. But what I'd like you to start doing today is to try to lengthen the exhale. So Kapalbhati is different actually from the breath of fire. A lot of people get confused Breath of fire is Bastrika. It's a strong dynamic breath with the inhale and exhales that are the same length. This is different for Kapalbhati. You exhale through the nose, so you're still using the abdominals, so you bring your navel, so contracting the abdominals, bringing the navel into the spine to expel the air out the nostrils, but you don't worry about the inhalation. Inhalation happens automatically, and we'll just go for 3 rounds of 10, so pretty short so that you don't strain, but try to, again, lengthen the exhale. So I'll just quickly show you how this works. I'm going to show you the 2 different ways. So at the start, usually you have a very short exhale and quick, just like so. So you want to try to move away. It might not happen right away at the start, don't worry, just think about it and it will start to happen. Lengthening the exhale out the nostrils, so really trying to be relaxed. So it might go more like this. You take a deep inhale. You see the difference? Really trying to lengthen the exhale, so we're trying to really getting rid of all the carbon dioxide in the body. So we'll try that. As usual, if you have any heart issue, stomach issues, you might, or vertigo, high blood pressure, you might want to go really easy on this one and just try it out, maybe nice and slow for the first one. And if you can, second round, maybe going a little bit stronger. So we'll go for 3 rounds of 10, nice and slow. So you can already bring your hands, palms facing upwards, maybe taking the Gyan Mudra, index and thumb together, other fingers straight, relaxing the body. After the Kapalbhati, we'll go into our traditional Om chant. We'll just do 1 round today because we've got a bit of a short class, and then we'll move a little bit maybe quicker, but again, especially if you have back issues, just go nice and easy, honor the body, no need to push, just really feeling, trying to connect with those emotions, those feelings. So nice and relaxed, the chest stays nice and relaxed. You can close your eyes but keep your gaze slightly forwards. And then taking a deep inhale in through the nose, we'll get started with Kapalbhati, cleansing breath. Short, sharp exhalations out the nose. On your 10th one, you exhale and you return to normal breath, just for about 2 breaths. Just letting the body settle, noticing how you feel, and if you have any difference of pressure in the ears, you can slow down or even stop for normal breathing. And we get ready, second round, maybe going a little bit stronger. See if you can keep lengthening the exhale, deep inhale in through the nose. Last one, returning to a couple of normal breaths. Just feeling into the body. And then we go again, deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale. Relaxing the breath for a moment. So you might notice that maybe you're clearing out some stuff from the night. So if you have tissues, maybe just use your t-shirts, that's okay, no problem. And then we'll get going with our Om chant. So ideally you still have your eyes closed so that you keep the awareness within to really connect with those feelings, those emotions. You keep observing. So 1 deep Om chant. And again, just like we did for Kapalbhati, see if you can really lengthen that exhale so that you lengthen your Om chant. Exhaling the air out the nostrils, emptying the nose. We get ready. Deep inhale in through the nose. Relaxing for a moment, just observing. Taking a deep inhale in through the nose, into the chest, out the nose. In, out. Gently blinking your eyes open. So we're gonna get started with some movement, putting your props aside. So we start with our traditional Sun Namaskar. So it's important to warm up. Again, you do what you can with your movements. Just a little bit here, yes. As usual, trying to connect with the breath, and again, so moving slowly, see if you can lengthen your exhale. So we'll start top of the mat, feet together, shoulders are relaxed, standing tall, feeling that connection with the earth. And see if you can start to connect again with the breath, maybe Ujjayi breath, still breathing in through the nose. So as you inhale deeply, maybe feeling how the breath pushes everything down to connect with the earth, but at the same time, the expansion into the whole body lengthens into the spine, maybe collarbone slightly goes up, and see if you can feel that going all the way up to the crown of the head, lengthening to the sky. So we connecting earth and heavens, so the earth, the moon, or whatever else is up there. Hands in prayer position. We'll get started straight away. I'll chant the Bija mantra. We'll go for a couple of rounds, nice and easy, so that you can get the gist of it for those who haven't done that before. Om Mitraya. Nice and slow as you inhale in through the nose. You can start to stretch your arms up, looking up. Shoulders are nice and relaxed, so we're not going too deep into any of the asanas just yet. Again, observe what your body, what your emotions, nice and slow, opening your arms, keeping your arms parallel in line with your body. As you start exhaling, nice and slow, you start hinging at the hip level, trying to keep your back as flat as possible, bending into your knees as much as possible. So very important to protect the lower back, back of the legs, glutes, folding all the way down, fingertips to the floor. And then as you inhale, you can step your left leg back, and you drop your knee, point your toes, so back leg is completely relaxed. So for this nice one, normally it goes in just one breath, but you might be wiggling your hips a little bit. You're not trying to get any kinks in the body out of the way. It might be a little bit stiff, early morning. You want to try to keep your shoulders relaxed, and again, as you inhale, see if you can feel that lengthening, so from the tailbone through the spine to the crown of the head, looking forward, maybe just for the first one, but then ideally you want to start working towards looking up, stretching into the front of the body. Slowly, as you release, planting your hands, and you can step back, easy version, you can stay onto your knees, or if you feel ready, you don't have any back issues, we start activating the core muscles. We move into Chaturanga, the plank pose. So plank pose, making sure you're not collapsing into your shoulders and hips. So activate the core nice and strong. So you push your hands into the floor, shoulder blades up to the sky. Maybe tucking your tailbone slightly, so engaging into your core muscles. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your knees to the floor. Try to keep the shoulders engaged as you start bending into your elbows, bringing the weight of the body forward. Bringing your chest, so you arch into your lower back so that you bring the chest to the floor, so stomach doesn't touch. Nice arch into your back, trying to keep your hips as high as possible. and touch the forehead to the floor as well if you can. This is very good to stretch the back of the neck, and then you release all the way down to your abdomen, pointing your toes nice and slow as you inhale. You can start to lift your chest using your back muscles. So you don't want to be pushing so much onto your hands. You want to be using your back muscles to lift up, looking forward. So really engaging those back muscles. So this is the other part of the core that we often forget. Slowly relaxing as you exhale, taking your toes under, and basically you just reverse the movement, so pushing your hands onto the floor, engaging into the shoulders. See if you can reach your hips back and up. You can go through Balasana, a child's pose, if you want to get a bit of a stretch for the back, so stretching your hips back, keep pushing onto your hands with your toes tucked under, and then you push your feet into the earth to reach your hips up, and voila, you're into your down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Maybe first one you can pedal a little bit, again bending one knee after the other, moving one hip to the side, maybe slightly, but trying to stay engaged into the shoulders. Again, maybe getting some kicks out of the way. These movements are always good. And then looking forward between your hands as you inhale, you step your left leg forward right between your hands, so you need to engage your core for that. Maybe you need to help with your hands for your foot to move all the way forward, or the other technique, gripping the mat with your toes. You move your foot forward all the way between your hands, back leg is relaxed, so you want to make sure that you have 90-degree angle into your front leg. Again, maybe gently wiggling your hips from side to side, and you work towards pushing your heart forwards, maybe just looking forward for the first one, but again, ideally, you're going to be looking up. So just let the body open. We're going for a few rounds. Nice and slow as you exhale, looking down, stepping forward. Maybe still with a soft bend into your knees. As you inhale, you can start to come up, rolling your spine up vertebrae by vertebrae. So very good opportunity here to really feel into the back. So from the hips, lower back, middle back, see if you can keep your shoulders hanging down. And then as you come to the top of the back of the spine, you can reach your arms up if that feels good into the neck. Palms together, and as you exhale, you release back down to your heart, and we get going. Om Suyaya. So nice and slow, let the body warm up, inhaling, looking up. You can start to look up, opening your arms as you exhale, nice and slow, folding forward. Maybe still bending into your knees if you feel you need to. Stepping your right leg back this time. Drop your knee, point your toes, look up as you inhale, pushing your hips down. Planting your hands, moving into Chaturanga, you hold your breath. Nice and strong, activating the core. Exhaling, knees, chest, forehead. Relaxing all the way down onto your abdomen, point your toes. Inhale, Ardha Bhujangasana. Maybe you can start moving into Bhujangasana, straightening your elbows if that feels comfortable into your lower back. So again, honor your body, watch your lower back, shoulders are relaxed. Slowly releasing, rolling the spine down, taking your toes under, pushing through maybe a child's pose, and up, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you inhale, stepping your right foot forward, right between your hands. Again, 90-degree angle. Back leg is completely relaxed. And as you inhale, you look up, feeling the stretch into the left hamstring. Exhale, release, stepping forward. Still bending into your knees if you need to. Nice and slow, rolling your spine up. Again, be aware of all the feelings in the spine. This is where the central nervous system goes through. Palms together. Exhale, release, and we keep going. We're going to pick up a bit the pace, but you stay with mindful movements. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot inhale, so we keep switching legs. See if you can go maybe further, planting your hands flat into the floor, still looking up, pushing your hips down. Hold your breath, chaturanga. Nice and slow as you exhale, knees, chest, forehead, so arch into your back. Nice and strong into the shoulders. We start building strength into the shoulders, relaxing all the way down. Inhale, moving into your Bhujangasana, Cobra pose, relaxing into the shoulder blades. Looking up, feeling the stretch into the whole front of the body. Exhale, you roll your spine down, pressing onto your hands, reaching your hips up. Inhaling, left foot forward, right between your hands. Back leg is relaxed. Look up. Exhale, you release. Stepping forward. Slowly as you inhale, rolling your spine all the way up. Palms together. Releasing back down to your hearts. Om Kagaya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, right leg back, so we keep switching legs. Still looking up as you inhale, lengthening into the spine. Hold your breath, nice and strong. Still going at your own pace. Exhale. Coming down, so again, if you need to slow the pace down, you can slow the pace down, honoring your own body. Inhale, looking up. Just trying to stay connected with your emotions, so see what the reactions are to maybe the pace, the movements. Inhaling, right leg forward, look up. Exhale. Inhale, coming all the way up. Palms together. Exhale. Om Niknagradaya Namaha. Start to arch into your back if you feel comfortable, no neck issues. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, left leg back. Drop your knee, point your toes, look up. Hold your breath. Exhale, knees, chest, forehead. Releasing all the way down. Inhale, look up, rolling your eyes upwards, back is relaxed. Exhale. Inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, come back. Inhale, so we've got a few more rounds, maybe a little bit quicker. Again, just do what you can, going at your own pace. If you need to slow it down, it's the same sequence. Om Chai Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Right leg back, so we keep switching legs. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Scooping up Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Exhale. Stretch back. Inhale. Right leg. Exhale. Inhale, rising up nice and strong. Exhale, release. Om Aditya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Om Bhaskaraaya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. hands together, maybe keeping your eyes closed, or if you have your eyes closed already, you can release your hands by your side, feeling into the body, mindfully, keeping your balance. You can come onto your back for a quick Shavasana, just really relaxing the body completely, palms open to the sky, and you drop your limbs, feet out to the side, just really feeling into the body. Maybe notice any emotions, any reactions. And just imagine if you were detached from your body and just looking at yourself from above, looking at the body, observing the sensations in the muscles, joints, maybe feeling the breath, your heart rate. And again, this observer might also notice some emotions, reactions that go along with sensations in the body. If you judge your breath, one side of the body, again, our practice, our work is to try to become the observer of our own reality without trying to judge, going into any narrative, as we might just get caught up into some mental constructs, some ideas that we have about us, things, how things should be. So trying to be really detached, observing from a place of neutrality, maybe bringing new eyes to the picture, opening up to maybe new perspectives. And we get going with a few asanas, bringing your feet together. Purnapamamuktasan, one very important one for the back, very good to stretch the back. Essentially that's kind of like the same as child's pose, as you bring your knees towards your chest. It might be going a bit further, so you can keep holding your knees, shins with your hands. Otherwise, if you don't have any back issues, at the moment at least, start to go a bit further and see if you can get hold of your elbows. So you might need to lift your head up for that. Keeping your feet together, toes pointing down. Once you've got the hold of your elbows, relaxing your head down, so you relax your shoulder blades into the floor. And as you keep pressing your knees into the floor, you push your hips down as much as possible. Your lower back is flat on the floor. The whole spine is nice and flat. So again, you want to lengthen as you inhale. Feel the compression of the thighs on the abdomen as the abdomen pushes against the thighs. So good massage for your abdominal muscles. So this is very good to relieve wind in the system. And at the same time, again, we stretch the lower back, the whole spine, pushing your tailbone down. As you inhale, you feel that expansion, lengthening into the whole spine. The crown of the head goes up to the sky. Deep breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. We're only going to be there for a couple more breaths. So you want to just observe, notice the breath. See if you can soften into the hips, the shoulders, every exhale, letting the spine be nice and relaxed. Nice and slow, releasing the grip of the hands. You can stretch your legs out. Just notice for breath what you feel in your lower back, the hips, maybe inside of the legs. And then slowly you can either roll onto one side or come up rolling to come onto your abdomen. We're going to go for Shavasana, so working a bit on the core, especially the back muscles, glutes and lower back muscles. So that's what you want to be using. So you keep your chin on the ground. You can bring your arms alongside your body, palms facing up, fingertips pointing back. you bring your toes to touch so that you start engaging into your hips, so from the hips, but keeping your right hip nice and relaxed. You're gonna inhale your left leg up. So engaging the glutes, lower back muscles. Again, see if you can dissociate between the left and right. So again, trying to keep your right glute nice and relaxed. You're only using your left side muscles. Knee is straight. So you try to keep pointing your toes and you lift up as much as possible. Chin is still on the ground, so you're only using your glutes, lower back muscles on the left side. And you keep breathing, again doing what you can, no straining, making sure that you're not lifting your left hip, so hips are still leveled to the floor. Nice and slow as you exhale, you release. Just take a breath here and then exhale your breath. And as you inhale, you lift your right leg up, again trying to isolate. Left side is now relaxed. You point your right toes, no bend into the knee, and you lift your leg, only the leg, so you don't want to be lifting your hip like this, so you're not twisting. You keep your chin, shoulders, hip on the floor as much as possible. It's only the leg that lifts. So again, using that left side, the core muscles at the back, very important to strengthen the muscles around the spine, to keep a good posture, to keep the spine nice and strong, supported. So we're working on muscles, ligaments, tendons. Nice and slow as you exhale, you release. You can bring your hands by your side, by your chest. Nice and slow. Now this time bringing your feet apart, probably mat distance apart, so that you protect your lower back. So the wider your feet, the easier it becomes on the back. If you keep your toes together, it's much harder on the back. Back is nice and relaxed, so see if you can keep your lower back nice and relaxed. You exhale your breath, and as you inhale, again, using your back muscles, but tailbone is nice and relaxed, you start lifting your chest. So how do you know you use your back muscles? You lift your hands, so you should be able to keep your chest up. And then nice and slow, you release, hands back down. We're moving into the full Bhujangasana, so very important pose. All the back bends are very important for the back, so again, honor your body. If you feel this is too much, you can just stay in Ardha Bhujangasana. Otherwise, elbows straighten, but you want to relax your shoulder blades, often with the elbows straight. Shoulders go up into the ears, not very good. You want to really feel your shoulder blades going down towards your buttocks, and you keep the buttocks, glutes nice and relaxed. If you can go further, you have no neck issues, then you can start to look up, and you keep breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Nice and slow as you exhale, you release. And you can bring your big toes to touch. We're stretching back into child's pose, Balasana. You can keep your knees as wide as the mat, arms stretched forward. So again, as usual with the breath, see if you can lengthen into the spine, so tailbone goes back, crown of the head goes forward, back is as flat as possible, and see if you can rest your chest between your knees, forehead to the floor. So I'm showing you all poses that are quite easy to do off the mat. So this practice today, from observing sensations, the breath, also Kapalbhati, and the poses are all practices that you can take off the mat. So this is a short practice, not sort of ideal. I mean, it's better than nothing, but ideally you want to practice a bit more. So I'm showing you poses and practices that you might be able to do, maybe even if you have just 5 minutes. Ideally, when you go a bit more into the body, you want to make sure that you are warm. but child's pose, this you can probably do even when you're not warm. Getting up, as you wake up, you can do that in bed, as you go to bed, also very good. And then slowly coming up, and we'll just do one standing posture today. Coming up, stepping your left foot forward, and you can bring your back foot to 90-degree angle. Bringing your hands in prayer position in front of your front leg. And as you inhale, you can stretch your arms out in T-shaped position. As you exhale, you can bend into your front knee. So this is Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So you want to make sure that your front knee is right above your ankle, so you can see your big toe. So if your knee is in, you wouldn't be able to see your big toe, so make sure you can see your big toe. Opening into the hips, so this is very good to stretch into your hamstring. You're also stretching into the inside of the leg, so you want to make sure that you kind of lifting into the inner arch of the back foot, pressing onto the outside edge of your back foot. Arms are nice and straight, so you want to energize from your left fingers to your right fingers, but relax into the shoulder blades. Often there's a tendency to lift up into the ears, so just like Bhujangasana, try to relax that down as much as possible. So shoulder blades go down into the back, nice and relaxed, and you keep looking at your front hand. And you keep breathing nice and deep, so spine again is nice and straight. As you breathe in, see if you can feel that lift from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And as you exhale and relax into the shoulders, into the hips, maybe you can bend a bit further. Again, just watch your body, so you're getting a good stretch into the inside of the groin, so that helps with any lower back issues. Staying there for one more breath. And then nice and slow as you inhale, you release, exhale, you come back, palms together. And then stepping at the back of your mat, we'll do the other side. Stepping your right leg forward. Again, hands in prayer position, the back foot is 90-degree angle. Inhale, you stretch your arms out, you can check your back foot, and as you exhale, you send your knee forward. Again, making sure you can see your big toe, shoulders are relaxed. Maybe adjusting your stance if you can go a bit further, but otherwise there's no need. If you are maybe even just there, that's fine, that's a start. Again, honoring your body, being really mindful of what you feel. There's no need to go too deep into the asanas. What's important again is to really connect to emotions, reactions, sensations in the body. That's what's important. Getting connected to that communication pathway, body, mind, body. That's what we're doing in these practices, and that's very important for any back pain issue. Breath is nice and soft. Nice and slow. The inhale, you come up. Exhale, stepping forward, and you can come onto your knees, relaxing for a breath, releasing the pressure into the legs. So we've just finished with a very nice, easy twist again. This is a posture that you can do anytime, so the previous posture may be a little bit harder to do anytime, although maybe if you're walking, you can just take a big step and do some lunges. That is quite similar. This one is pretty good, especially if you are working maybe at an office, on a chair. If you're in a chair, you can do the twist. So we're going to inhale the arms up. So again, you want to be really feeling that lengthening of the spine. So pushing the tailbone down, crown of the head reaches up. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist to the left. Bringing your left hand behind, and with your right hand you can bring the back of it to the outside of the knee. So nice and easy, no need to go too deep, just twisting into the spine. What's more important is to try to really keep the spine nice and straight, because the spine doesn't really like to be twisted if there's too much curves. So keep it nice and straight, and you work with the breath. So as you inhale, maybe you can feel your hips pushing down into the cushioning of the chair, or if you have a harder chair, then you can really feel your buttocks. And then you twist as you exhale. Just a few breaths here. Very good for the nervous system. Very good to sort of just wind down for the end of the practice. Nice and slow as you inhale, you come back to center, stretching your arms up. Again, see if you can feel the lengthening of the spine. And as you exhale, you soften into your shoulders, you soften into your hips, getting into your twists. So again, nice and easy. We've got a few breaths here. So every breath you can go maybe a little bit deeper, just a tiny bit, just to feel the difference. No need to go too deep. Again, you don't want anything to flare up, but this is very good to do just about every 20 minutes if you're working long hours in front of a computer. Every 20 minutes you can do a few breaths. Only takes a couple of minutes, but it helps to re-energize into the spine, get the blood flowing, get all the nutrients going and keeping your nervous system in check. So again, inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, maybe twisting a bit more. See if you can turn your eyes, looking behind you. Nice and slow as you inhale, you come back to center. Maybe still with your eyes closed, or if you had your eyes closed already. Otherwise, you can close your eyes, palm facing upwards. Letting the spine return to normal. Maybe we can wiggle a little bit the hips, shoulders. Spine is still nice and straight. Maybe chin is slightly tucked in so that the neck is long. Just feeling into the body. Letting the body relax. And then nice and slow. See if you can keep your eyes closed. Moving mindfully. You can come onto your back. You just do a couple of minutes of Shavasana, relaxing completely, letting the body integrate the practice, the resetting from the different postures, the breath. Hopefully we've reset left side, right side. Got to awaken all the different systems of the body. Again, just observe, notice the breath, notice the softening of the backside onto your mat, the floor. If you have more time, and I know you enjoy Shavasana, you can stay for maybe 5, maybe even 10 minutes if you feel like it, or any amount of time if you have the time. This is also a good meditative practice to really just observe, let the body relax, the mind relax. Either enjoying this Shavasana for a bit longer, or if life's obligations are calling you, Very slowly you can start to return to the breath, deepening the breath. You can start to get some movement into your toes, fingers, maybe rolling your ankles, wrists. And as you inhale, you can stretch your arms overhead, stretching the body nice and long. Nice big stretch. And as you exhale, you can roll over onto your right side, taking a breath or two on the side before you press your hands into the earth. Ideally again with your eyes closed, coming to a sit. You can bring your hands in the Anjali Mudra, palms together in front of your heart. Ideally your spine is nice and tall. And see if you can keep the connection to the emotions, the feelings in the body, whatever it might be. So we've got, again, that full moon coming up. The energy around the full moon is strongest, lasts for about 2 to 3 days around the moon, so we're getting right into it if we haven't already. And it's going to last a few days. So I really invite you for the next few days, if you can, maybe even slow down a bit so that you actually take the time to feel, notice, and try not to react too strongly. Maybe just, if you can, sort of step out of your mind, observe, just like if you were a third person, watching yourself, but not judging, just observing. Tip of the thumbs to the third eye, and we bow in gratitude to the divine light that surrounds us and is within us. Hari Om Tat Sat. Peace, love and light.